Well, good afternoon, people. I didn't say guys. Good afternoon, people. This is a video which I'm conducting on behalf of all those people that have asked me about our new motorcycle trike. It's a DOOHAN iTANK, and it's wonderful. Me and Debs love it. We just go out on it whenever we park up. We just don our helmets and away we go. But a lot of you have been asking about the trike, so what I thought I'd do is just do a whole video about it, telling you where we got it, what it does, performance aspect, etc. Before I begin, there's a guy cutting his hedges. I'll just show you where we are. There's my beautiful assistant Deborah, and over there is a guy who's cutting his edges, and he's just started, so I'm going to have to apologise. Oh, when there's road traffic as well, so if anything go by, and if I go like that a lot, it's because there's this pesky flights which is really annoying me. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So this is the iTank itself. As you can see, it's a trike. It has two wheels at the front and one wheel at the back. Look, you can see that at the back. You can get in different colours. We chose the red colour because it resembles a Ferrari, and they do it in white, blue, black, I believe. So I'll give you a quick look at it from both aspects. There you go. That's what she looks like. This is a, as you can see, it's a three-wheel trike, and it has a oscillating system at the front with the suspension arms to give you a fairly comfortable ride, I would say. It's not the best in the world. It's not absolutely solid. It is a bit jittery over bumps, but it's comfortable enough. It obviously has a two handlebar, and it has two gears. So what we have on here, first off we have a brake, which you can do that with, so it's locked, so it can't roll away. It doesn't stand up on its own. You still have to balance it like a bike, like a trike, as it were, because it will fall over. As you can see, it's just a matter, and it's quite heavy too. It's about 100 with the batteries in. I would say it's around about, I think it's 109 kilos without the batteries, and each battery is something like 15 kilos, and I'll show you where they are in a second. So it takes up to about 130, I'd say 130 kilos all in, something like that. So I think you can get on it all in all 129 stone is the top weight that this bike will take. 29 stone. So 29 stone with you and a passenger, and I think we're well below that. I mean, I must go 16, you're 9, whatever. How much do you weigh?
10 stone.
10 stone. So it's 26. So 26 stone. So we're at the top end. So, and it carries us no problem at all up hills and stuff like that. So, but it's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, back to the bike. This is the brake, front brake, back brake. You have two speeds. One speed which takes you up to, well, this bike will do 45 miles an hour top speed. And the first speed I think takes you up to 30 miles an hour max, but then you can put it into second gear and it will take you up to the full 45 miles an hour. But if you're just pootling about country lanes and stuff, you don't need that. You can just put it on one. The D and the R obviously drive, that is for forward. The R has reverse, but it doesn't beep when you reverse. It just puts you in reverse. You pull the twist throttle and it will go backwards. This button is for actually starting it. So for instance, when you turn on the key and it gives you the reading of the, to say it's ready, before you go anywhere you have to push that button to activate it. So you have to then turn the key, wait for this to come on, press the button, and away you go. The key slot is down here, which is also for the lock. You turn it like this, and then you turn the handlebars to lock it, and then once it's locked you can then push. I can't do it two-handed, but you can then twist it and pull it out, and then the bike is locked like this and it can't go anywhere, so it's locked. It's a steering lock. You have two little areas for little bits and bobs for your phones and stuff like that. and you also have like a bag handle which you can hang stuff on with, so if you do shopping, stuff like that. This is something I bought in addition. Now you can put your phones down here, but I bought this little phone holder which pop your phone in, and then it goes you good for Google Maps, which is an additional extra. I bought it on Amazon. It was only about a 10 or something like that. Dipped lights. The light's always on when the actual item's on. If I turn this on, you'll see, I think that the light is always on. If I come around the front, yeah, you can see that the light is actually on. It's a daytime running light, so that's a daytime running light. That's always on. But then you have this, which is high beam for night driving, so people can see you. This is your indicator, left and right, obviously, and a horn, and of course a brake. So that's primarily how you operate the bike. It's pretty simple. Twist and go, twist the throttle, and away you go. There's no gears as such like that. Only other like 1 and 2, which just limits your speed and the power which goes from the motor. These are footrests, and what we like about these is that you haven't got any pegs. Generally, like on another bike, you get like foot pegs which the pillion passenger puts her foot on. But I put my foot on there, and Debs gets hers behind and puts her foot and rests her feet on there, which is really, really nice, because that means her legs are quite in. Because if you've got pegs, you put your pegs out, you tend to sort of open your legs a little, and your knees get exposed. It's not so bad if you've got panniers, but if you've got no panniers, your knees can, because obviously Debs has to sit astride, because I'm sat here, Debs has to sit astride, so it's quite nice that she can then just tuck her legs in and put her feet on there, rather than have all her legs exposed, sorry, her knees exposed whilst we're travelling along, which is a pretty good thing. Now, under the seat, I'll show you how to open the seat, because this compartment here is a battery, and this compartment here is a battery, and here's a kind of strange way how to access the battery cupboard. So you have to put the key in here. Now I'm going to stop this for a second because I don't know which key it is, but just bear with me, I'm not going to stop it. So this key starts the bike, which goes into up here where the ignition is, and this key is also used to open up this seat. So what you do is you put that in there, you flick it, and hear that? It pops the seat up. So what then you can do is you lift up the seat, and this gives you access to this switch here. And you notice it's got a letter A, you twist it one way, and a letter B, you twist it the other. If you twist it A, it opens this compartment, and as you can see, battery in there, which is quite a nice battery, which is just connected by this little thing here. And if you then turn it to number B, it pops this one, and that is your other battery. Now you can buy it with just the one battery option, but we have both batteries, and you can see that's sprung loaded. So when you push this down, so what you do, you can take them out to recharge them using this with a charger. I'll show you the charger later, or you can charge them in situ by undoing this on the other side, and the charger screws in there, and then when you're not charging, you put that back on. So that's how you charge the bike. You can charge it, as I say, in situ, or you can charge them separately if you want to take them out the bike. And just to push that back down, because you notice that's sprung loaded, you push that back down, click it into place. Same with this, click it into place, and there you go, one shut cupboard. Just want to make sure that's shut. So there you go, that's all shut up. And the seat, just push it back down in place, and seat is back in position. Now, charging the bike, I said I'd show you, so here it is. As you can see, it's quite hefty. It says all-terrain intelligent lithium battery rapid charger. Now when you plug it in, it comes, obviously with you order it, you'll want a UK plug, which I had to cut off and put a plug on it. And this is the plug that you put into here, down here. I'll show you, it goes in there as mentioned earlier for charging. Now this is a 600 watt or 10 amp max charger. We've done the front, done the batteries, done the seat, done the footrests. Now we'll do the motor. The motor is a single wheel, obviously. It's here, might be a bit dirty. It's not a Bosch motor. Now they do two specific models of an iTank. They do a 1500 watt model and they do a 3000 watt model. Now the 1500 watt model is obviously less powerful than this one. I'm not too sure whether the 1500 watt model does the same speed. I don't think it does. But this is the 3000 watt model. Either model you can't currently buy in the UK as there are no agents for them. So I had to import this, but what I'll do is I'll explain about that a little later. But at the moment, this model, as I say, is a 3000 watt motor. Now the 1500 watt motor on these is a Bosch motor, whereas this is not a Bosch motor. This is a QS motor, which are apparently quite a decent make, because they make them for Panasonic and Bosch, and they supply motors to those companies, so they are a really decent company. So as I say, 3000 watt motor on this particular trike, and it gives you all the power that we've not had to get off going up steep hills as yet. I mean, in fact, slight hills it just accelerates up there easy peasy. Steep hills it stays at a constant maybe 35 kilometers an hour, which is easy with the two of us on, so it's not, you know, it doesn't seem to struggle. Yeah, so it performs really well. This is something that I've added. Doesn't come with the trike. This is a helmet holder. You put your key in, pop it open, put your helmets in. As long as your helmet has got a loop, pop it off like this, like that. That comes on. You link your helmets into there, and then you just push it back in. Like that, clips in place, and it just keeps you in place. If people want to steal your helmets, they will. But yeah, it's just nice to have that, you know. Panniers, right? Panniers. The panniers do not come as standard. This frame is an added extra. So the frame, the two panniers, and the top box are an option. They don't come as standard. They get bolted on through the sides here into this side frame. There's a little side frame that comes with the bike, which is standard, and it's bolted on, and then you bolt the panniers on. If I show you through here, you can see they're actually bolted onto this frame, which comes as an additional extra.
I'd like to say something. I'd just like to point out that there's a backrest built into the top box. Were you coming to that?
Yeah.
Well, there's a backrest built.
Oh, excuse me. Are you interjecting?
Sorry.
What? She's my assistant, but I'll tell you what, sometimes I think she just wants to talk all the time, but I'm doing it. It's my trike. Oh yeah, sorry, it's our trike, yeah. So anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, the trike comes with this, doesn't come with this frame. You have to buy this as an optional extra. That enables you to put these two panniers on and this top box. Now, panniers. The panniers are a couple of like locky things. You unlock that, you unlock that. Now what we do is, and then you have to get the keys again. Hold on a second. Get the keys. Turn this round, and they don't stay up on the. Oh, it's our jackets. There's our jackets. I forgot the jackets were on there. This isn't. I have these little straps so you can put stuff in it. They're not brilliant. I mean, at the end of the day, a little bit of shopping, you know, bag of shopping in there. But as I say, it doesn't actually stay up. Look, it's a bit annoying. This is actually. There's two things about the panniers which I don't like. This is one of them, where they just drop down and you put your stuff in, obviously in here or in here, and you can use the straps to keep your stuff in there. But if you tend to overload it, which all people do. But then when you push that there, you have to physically hold it, because you can't. You have to turn the key so that it, you know, it locks at the top, and then you put these locks in like that. I kind of don't like that. I mean, it's a I don't know, if they opened up sideways or something, I don't know. And the other thing I really don't like about them is if you get a little bit of rain, the rain collects in here. It's like a little swimming pool of rain. It really fills up in there. So if it does, I would suggest you get a bike cover, because even though we have got a bike cover, it really does get full up with rain in there, both sides. Now this is the top box. Now this is removable. It's quite large. It's quite large. Carries my gloves for when it's colder, because we were in the UK and we were driving around and it was colder. It's quite a nice size actually. Again, travelling, get some shopping, milk, bottles of wine, beer, whatever, they all go in there, no problem at all. This is how you lock it, because it is. So what most people do is they do this. They go, well, so most people on the videos that I've seen online, this is what they do. They shut it like that, and there's this little flap here which you push. So they go like that, you push that down like that, and you lock it, and you think, oh, it's locked. No, it's not. It's absolute.
Nope.
So what you have to do, this you have to push forward, because it's got a latch on it, and it latches onto the back of here. So what you do is you push this in here, you then have to push it upwards to push this DOOHAN sign, then put it down, then push it like that. Locked. Now the other thing about the top box is it's got this cushion here. This has got like a backrest, which is nice because it's nice and secure. It's secured by this button, as you'll notice when I was unlocking it, or locking it. This button is also has a lock against this, and I'll show you how that fits in a second. But I think I mentioned earlier, if you were to lean against it and put my hand there, which is in line, you lose a good, what, 2 to 3 inches of seating space. That is the reason why, if you were to go out for a ride or a longer ride and you're not going to get shopping where you need all three, we need the panniers and the top box, I would say remove this, because you lose seating, and then that makes me have to sit forward more, and Debs has to sit forward more because look, her back is here because she's leaning against, so she's about here. So you lose quite a bit of space on the seat, and we've only just really noticed that, to be fair. Certainly within the last couple of weeks. So what we do is we remove the top box if we're going out for a longer ride, because we don't need that, because we're just going for like a pleasure ride and we're not doing shopping. If we go shopping, and we are doing shopping, the top box goes on. If not, it comes off. Now, how do you take it off, I hear you ask? Wow, back to the bunch of keys. What you do is you push this in here like this, like I said, undo that, lift it up. Now what you can do is this releases this knob, and you push it and lift. It's a two-handed job, to be fair, because I've just done it. It's ended up on the floor. It didn't hit the van though, which was really, really lucky. So but yes, how you take the top box off. So get a magic set of keys, and it is this one. Don't forget, you put it in this little thing here, so it can go in easily enough. Undo it, lift this up. Now when you've lifted this up, this gives you access to this little knob here. And what you have to do is you push it in, sprung loaded as you see, lift it off, and if you notice around here, around this side, Deb, around this side, it has 2 catches. There you go, these 2 catches fit in these 2 little gaps. So, and obviously when you put it back on, it's a reverse order, you slot it back into there, you push this down to here, you push this button in and it catches on this thing here. You push the button in like this, clips down, there we go. Top box firmly on. So that is how you secure the top box and take it off. Thank you very much, Deborah. Okay, right, now what we're going to do is going to show you guys, and we're going to try and show you how it looks like with 2 people on, both with the box on and with the box off. So hopefully you'll be able to see how we go about sitting on this. So first things first, push the bike up. Debs will get on. Now this is with the box on, and as you can see, we are both sat on the bike. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where we sit. Hopefully you'll be able to see this part here. Now I'm going to sit on the front. So Debs has to scoot back a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. Now this is what we look like sat on the bike. So hopefully you can see that. If we don't, or if you can't, then I'm sorry. And now what we'll do, we'll take the top box off, but my hand, seriously, I would say that the seat is probably, I'm perched just on the seat. Now with my feet up on here, it doesn't feel too comfortable, it doesn't feel uncomfortable because my bum is still on the seat.
I can't go back any further, you can see, look.
Yeah, but it is,
That's as far as I can go.
Debs can't go back any further because of the top box. Now we'll take the top box off, and I've got to say that I'm just sort of perched on the front of the seat, to be fair. Bearing in mind I'm 16 stone or whatever, so what we'll do now is we'll take the top box off, and then hopefully you'll be able to see the way we can sit on the bike without the top box. Hopefully you can see now that Deborah has got at least that much available now to sit on. So this is what it looks like. Now Deborah can push herself. What she does is she puts her feet on the seat, pushes back, and I have now much more seat to be sat on now for comfortable riding. So it is definitely worth going for the rides without the top box on, because it gives you much more space for the rear passenger and also for the front passenger. But with the top box on, it's definitely snug. I forgot to mention it has a kickstand, and here it is. This kickstand here just allows you to lean the bike. It does, when you first time you do it, it does feel, you think to yourself, oh my god, it's going to fall over, but it doesn't, and it's really quite strong. But also the bike will not move anywhere unless that is up, and it has a micro switch, so that will not go anywhere. It doesn't have any power, so you can't turn the accelerator with that down. It just will not happen. Even if you've pushed that button and it's on and everything, it won't go anywhere because that kickstand is down and it's on a micro switch. The next thing to say about the bike is the performance of said bike. Now I've actually made some notes. Now earlier today we went for a ride up some hills and a beautiful countryside around Tavira in Portugal. And we did a 25-mile ride, and the highest point was 290 meters. So, and some of the roads were really quite steep, and the bike made it up there, no issues at all. But as I say, we went for a 25-mile ride, and we used 63% of the battery power. That left us with 37%. I say the highest point was 290 meters, which is about 950 feet-ish, something like that. So if you do that calculation, that's about 0.4% every mile. So we reckon we'll get about 40 miles, which is about absolute maximum you will get. Now obviously that depends on the weight of the rider. You can get that's with 2 people on it, but with 1 person on it you might get further. The official is 120 kilometers. It's obviously officially classed as a motorcycle. It is a 125cc motorcycle, but because it is a trike, officially a trike, you can ride it on the UK roads with a standard car license. It's equivalent to, say, to a petrol, which is a 125cc. The 1500 watt model is classed as a 50cc. Battery recharge time is quoted at 4 to 6 hours. The drive, the motor, is 3000 watt constant power. So that's a constant power. Now when you go up hills, it increases to 4200 watts. Now that's where it's going to eat the power. So if you're just driving around on flat ground, it's going to be 3000 watts, no issue. As soon as you start going up steep hills with 2 people on, and it has to take more amps or more power to get you up that hill, it's going to hit its 4200 watt peak. Maximum speed is 75 kilometers an hour or 45 miles an hour, whichever way you choose to look at it. It has disc brakes front and rear, so it's brilliant for brakes. It has hydraulic suspension both front and rear. Now the rear suspension, what you've got these suspension legs on the front. I think I pointed them out before, but it has one on the back, one suspension leg, which is this item here. But as I say, it's comfortable enough, and it does us okay, so there's no issues there. Digital display It says it has cruise control, or yet I've yet to find it. I'm going to have to go back to them and ask them, because I would love to have cruise control, because that would be fantastic. It has an alarm, and it comes in different colours as well: black, blue, red and white. So that would be the I would say that's the information as regards to the bike. They'll also, I'll put a link in the description of where I purchased our bike. They're based in Poland. They're called I Am Electric. It's all one word. Lovely company to deal with. They're really, really nice. What I'd like to do first off is give you a little bit of the background of how I managed to get hold of the bike. I will put chapters, hopefully. I mean, I've never done chapters before, but I will put chapters in if you're just more or less interested in how to get the bike or whatever, and not to hear me ramble on about how I did it. But anyway, I contacted DOOHAN and asked for any UK agents within the UK. They told me there are no agents within the UK. Now, we specifically wanted, I specifically wanted an iTank, because I think they're cool looking, wonderfully good, and I'm really glad we've got it, because it's just excellent. So I contacted DOOHAN. Do you have any UK agents? They came back and said no. The official one is in the Netherlands. So I contacted them. They are the European headquarters for the whole of Europe in the Netherlands. I contacted them and said, can you give me a price for a 3,000 watt model? They said no, we only keep the 1,500 watt model. And I thought, well, that's no good, because I want a 3,000 watt model. So I went back to DOOHAN. They told me then to go to contact a company in Spain. Now, I contacted this company 3 times. I emailed them. They never came back to me. So I then phoned them, and it was a menu system, and it was all in Spanish. I couldn't understand. So I decided to forget that, because I thought, well, trying to purchase one, if I can't get through them just to speak to them, purchasing one is going to be non-starter. So I just did a lot of internet searching, and I found this company in Poland. There's companies that sell them in France and Germany, but again, it probably would have been more expensive. I don't know. Anyway, the reason I like the I Am Electric is because they advertised the 3,000 watt model as standard. I contacted I Am Electric and said, do you ship to the UK? And they said, yes, no problem. I asked them for a price. They told me it was 4,400 euros. Obviously, I had to pay VAT on top of that, and I had to pay an import charge. Now, some people said, well, why didn't you just drive to Poland, because you've got a motorhome, and go and get it, etc. That's okay, but I didn't have a trailer or anything like that. It would have gone in the garage. So I mean, I could have done that, but again, I didn't know what the issues were with getting or coming back through customs, etc., etc. So I didn't bother to do that. I wanted to do it all above board. So I purchased. They sent me the bike. It came back within 2 weeks. It's not an issue. They arranged a courier, or sorry, a company to import it. There is a company. I have the details, so if you want it, I can give these to you. They will then go pick it up, pay the customs charge, you pay them, they deliver the bike. It's as simple as that. And that's exactly how it happened. Now, that service was an extra additional 1,200 quid. So it was 4,200 euros for the bike, and with the tax, the import duty and the tax, it was an extra 1,200 quid. So I think they say it's about 6% import duty, I'm sure, something like that. But that's how much it was to actually get it here in the UK to my address. Okay, so then what you have to do once you have the trike is to register it. Now, I had to register it with the DVLA. So when you import the bike, you have to have a C of C. So that's to enable you to get a logbook. So that's a C of C, and this form that you have to fill in. I think it's called a V744. I'll put it up on the screen as to what form it is. Now, the information about all the questions that they ask you on this form is available on the C of C. But there are a lot of questions that they ask you that you don't have to fill in. There was a website as well that told you which specific pieces of information that DVLA require for you to register. I think it was £75 to register it, and I'll fill out, if there's any links or whatever, the links will be in the description below for the information for you to register it with the DVLA. Obviously, because it's an electric vehicle, you pay no road tax currently. This is recorded as of October 2024. Now I think things might change in the UK. They're talking about electric vehicles having to pay road tax, but currently there is no road tax. To register it was £75 to DVLA. To get the logbook, once you've got the logbook, you can then get insurance. And to have third-party fire and theft was £328 for something like 438 quid or something like that. Was fully comprehensive. But you make the call whether you go for fully comprehensive or not. It's entirely up to you. And I hope this, giving you an idea of what the bike's like. But should you have any questions, please just fire away in the comments below, and if I can get to answer them, I will. Any questions you have, please just post them in the comments below. Hope you enjoy the video.
Do it. Do it now.